About that much more is Arizona Senator John McCain. Senator, welcome back. Good to see you.
Thank you, Sean.
All right, it seems simple. It's an economic downturn. We really have not had an economic recovery. Raising taxes at this time, to me, seems, counterproductive in terms of creating jobs. Will the Republicans stay firm that all the tax cuts need to be extended?
Yes, and I'm confident of that. And 41 Republican senators signed a letter that was given to the president, I believe, saying that we want the tax cuts addressed, the keeping the government in operation, and whatever other taxes or other, such as the estate taxes, taken care of. And then if there's time, we would be willing to take up the START treaty. But we need to take up the tax extenders, and I predict to you that we will have a 2-year extension of all of the tax cuts, all of them without exception. That will be, I think, our final position. A lot of us would like to make it longer, but I think that would be satisfactory. By the way, could I just comment? The president said the American people didn't vote for gridlock. I agree with him. But they didn't. They voted against the spending. They voted against Obamacare. They voted against the government takeover of automobile companies and TARP and all of those things that characterized the first 2 years of their administration.
Well, the president has a very different view. He thinks he has a communications problem. That he just didn't communicate well enough with the American people. So obviously you disagree with that. What if the Democrats take the position that will make the so-called middle-class tax cuts permanent, but the taxes on small business and so-called wealthy Americans will only extend that temporarily? Is that something Republicans would go for?
Republicans won't go for it. The one thing that we know from being home is that there is such uncertainty out there about their future that people are sitting on money. They're not investing. They're not hiring, whether they be big businesses or small, because they have no idea of what their financial picture will be in the coming year. And we did a terrible thing by going out of session before the election and not extending these tax cuts. So I'm confident that at least 41 Republicans will hold fast in the United States Senate.
Do you know that for sure? I mean, have you spoken to your colleagues? Are you sure you have?
Oh, yes.
All right, so all right. What if there's a stalemate? What if you can't come to a compromise? Do you wait to the next Congress? In other words, those Bush tax cuts expire? Is that a possibility? Could that happen?
Well, I hope not. I think it would be devastating to the economy. I think that we'd be raising taxes on everybody. We'd be having a terrible impact on savings and investment and employment. And I really believe that on this issue, that the Democrats, at the end of the day, will come around to at least a 2-year extension of all of them. And that's going to be our position. That's our fallback position.
All right. What if, well, first of all, we had the earmark ban vote in the Senate today.
Yep.
And what about the Republicans? I was a little bit surprised. First of all, I got to give Mitch McConnell, who in previous years had supported earmarks, but he said he heard the American people and he changed his position. What about the Republicans that didn't support that today? I was surprised by a couple of them.
I don't think they got the message from November 2nd. I don't think they got the message from the Tea Partiers. I don't think they got the message that earmarking is corruption. I've seen it. I can tell you that from my own experience. And that when they argue that, well, it takes power away from the Congress, or that it is only to get money for much-needed project, it is not. We authorize projects, and then you appropriate the money for it. That's the way the system worked for a long, long time, a couple of 100 years, up until the time all this earmarking and pork barreling and corruption took place. So I think that those Republicans and Democrats who voted against the earmark ban today are going to pay for it.
If states like California and Illinois and New York end up going bankrupt, would you vote for a bailout of those states?
No, I would not. I would extend my deep sympathy to them, but I'm expressing my sympathy to them now. The unions, the pensions, the out-of-control spending. I look at the state of California and I grieve for them. You know, businesses are moving out of the state of California just about as fast as they can find someplace else to go. It's a sad thing to see. A great state, the largest state in America with all of the potential and all the past greatness, is now mired in debts which I don't know how they get out of it.
Yeah. Senator, I notice in almost every interview you do, you were asked about Governor Sarah Palin. And you were asked this weekend about her. It seems that the media is just dying to get you to say something negative about her. You refused to do it. You called her an incredible force. How big a contender do you think she'd be if she gets in this race for 2012?
I think she's very, very, very competitive. Obviously, it all depends on how we conduct our campaigns. She is an incredible force in the Republican Party. I am proud of her. I am proud of the entire family. I'm glad that Bristol did so well on Dancing with
Senator, I hear that
Yeah.
you're going to be invited next year on that show. Would you accept?
I don't think so. But the point is, the major point is that Sarah Palin has energized people to be involved in this last election, and I'm sure she will in the next election, in a way that is responsible for a lot of the victories that we won. Now, I didn't agree with every one of her selections, and she didn't agree with mine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But the fact is, overall, it was an incredibly positive impact on the last election, and she does inspire people.
All right, last question.
I'm proud of her.
Sure. How bad is this WikiLeaks, document dump, and what do you think could have been done when we first knew that this person had gotten all this information?
Well, first of all, I do not believe that one person could get all that information. Second of all, we need to find out who's responsible. Somebody was responsible besides a private first class. So far, it just sort of happened like a natural disaster. People are responsible for it. We have got to get to fix it. We've got to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And unfortunately, there's a lot more to come. And it put the lives of people who cooperated with us in Iraq and Afghanistan in danger, and I don't see a strong enough reaction from this administration or the President of the United States.
All right, Senator McCain, good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks.
And this